Welcome back to the grind for the day 5, the final day of the trading post review. And this one is quite a disappointment, unfortunately. The first one, the featured item, is timers. Now, 200 sigils for 10 of the 12-hour timers. It's not like a ridiculous deal, but it's not a good deal. And if all you needed was these and you really wanted to guarantee that you're going to get timers, then you can go ahead and purchase these, but they're really not that good of a deal. And I personally would not recommend getting them. I'm going to pass on those. Next is lumber packs. These are a great quality of life measure. And so if you want a few more of these to make fortification events easier, then these are you know, they're not bad to have around, but spending sigils on them is kind of silly because there's other ways to get them. You get them from opening chests. And so, I mean, you get tons of these already, and lumber is easy to get during the event. The last, well, you know, all but the first day and a half of the event is easy to get lumber from other players. So, I mean, it's not really necessary to spend sigils on these. But if you want to get a few and you have nothing else you really care to spend your sigils on, then I guess you can convince yourself to do that. But I'm not going to get any of those, and I don't recommend it either. This one is interesting. So you can get 350 elemental embers, but you have to give up 600 electrum bars, which are a more valuable currency. They are more rare to get so far, and because they're not even available in chests yet. And when you look at the like transform and merge factor, you get more value from switching an electrum bar into elemental ember. So basically, this cost should be reversed. You should get like over 600 elemental embers for say 300 of the electrum bars, but it's kind of opposite. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is a lot of players might not have many towers that use electrum bars at this point in their progression, and they may have gotten the branches that give electrum bars more than one season, and so they might have a surplus of electrum bars. In the future, these are going to be more easy to obtain, likely will be added into chests at some point, or some version of chests, and a lot of players do have a lot of flax. And a lot of players really struggle to get the embers required to keep those flax maxed out. So if you're in that specific situation, then you could argue that it would be valuable to make this change. But all you're getting is 3,500 elemental embers, which really isn't that much. So it's a very small amount to exchange. You're only losing 6,000 electrum bars. So it's really not gonna make that big a difference. It's not gonna allow you to take several flax up several levels. It's gonna maybe get you one level depending on how low level your flak is. But all in all, this isn't really a good exchange. But if you only needed a few more to like finish leveling your flak one more time, then I guess you could argue it's not the worst deal if you have a surplus of electrum bars. Now, the next one is rubies, and typically these have been a good deal because you can spend the sigils to get the rubies, which then you can spend the rubies on a super sigil chest to get more or equal amount of sigils. However, for 300 sigils, you would hope to at least get about 12 to 1300 rubies, which is quite a bit less in this situation. So I personally do not recommend getting these, but if you have excess sigils, you aren't getting any more draconic chests, or you didn't go to the festive branch at all to get those chests, there's no gold chests in the near future of the branches that you've progressed on so far, there's literally nothing of value for you, then go ahead and spend these sigils on the rubies, because then those rubies can be used next season. And if you're not going to get anything else valuable, you might as well get some rubies. But for the vast majority of players, this is not a good deal. And finally, chisels. 50 chisels for 250 sigils. I don't think this is one of the better deals for chisels. I think we've seen better. But again, if you really need the chisels and you have the extra sigils, then this is an option. And you can go ahead and make that purchase. But for me, I'm not dying for chisels, and it's not a deal where I say you got to have it. So I'm going to pass on that one. But unfortunately, this is the final day of the trading post. I don't know if they have anything planned for the next week, but we do have one more week left of this season, so you can work on finishing up the branches that you've progressed on so far. And let me know what your thoughts are on the trading post this time around, what you got, what you liked, what you didn't like, and good luck with the remainder of this event and the start of the upcoming event. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.